Welcome everyone to London City Council meeting. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, would you please take the roll call?
Mrs. Russell? Present. Mr. Peters?
Here.
Mr. Robinson?
Here.
Mr. Hayes?
Present.
Mr. Head?
Here.
Mrs. Blazer? Mr. Smith?
Here.
All right. And has everyone had a chance to take a look at our minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
All right. All in favor of approving those minutes?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, minutes approved. Communications and announcements. We do not have any of those this evening. On to our public hearing. Get a motion to go into our public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Second. Clerk, could you please take the roll call?
Peters?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Head?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Russell? Yes.
Okay. We are now entered into our public hearing. We have an alley vacation, ordinance 15920. A motion to read by title and number?
No.
Oh, no, okay. And that's sponsored by Rich Hayes.
This is vacating an alley beside and behind 157 North Oak Street. All owners have signed off as to their approval. Board Public Utility Superintendent and the city have signed off on it as well. Just ready for the public hearing.
Do we have anything in addition to Rich's information?
Is there,
Yeah, there's two gentlemen that we have out there. I'm going to call them up on audience concerns or?
no,
Okay.
they're agreed to call up now.
Okay. I want to go ahead and call them up. We have Jeff Krieger. Krieg. Yeah, just step to the podium and state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Well, I don't think I'll need 5 minutes. My name is Jeff Krieg. I live at 171 North Madison Road. This is concerning the alley closure. It's not a great big deal to me, but I'd rather not see it closed for the simple fact my wife and I both use it. If we're going to head north, we do have to go down south 4, 5, 6 blocks in order to come across to go north. And I probably use it twice a day. My wife uses it as well. Like I said, it's not a huge inconvenience, but I'd just rather not see it closed if at all possible. Could be it. The alleys are there for a reason. And we use them as shortcuts, and that's what I use it for. So, if I'm the one going to contend it, I don't know. I just would rather say my 2 cents and say I'd rather not see it closed. Okay?
Any
Do any
questions?
other neighbors,
I'm sorry?
do any other neighbors other than you use it?
Yeah, I'm sometimes surprised to see my neighbor across the street not here because he uses it every day. I mean, he lives on that alley. It's a driveway. So I'm kind of surprised not to see him here. Or maybe he is, maybe he will be, I don't know. But I know he uses it. It's actually the other end of it is his driveway. He needs it to get to his driveway is off the alley, so he needs to get in there to park his car to get to his garage. So if you block the alley, I mean, I don't know what he's going to do, like getting his driveway. But I live straight across the street from the alley to where we come down the alley and pull right straight in my driveway. And when I leave, like I say, it keeps me from doing a U-turn in front of my house or going down 5 blocks down the street and cutting across and come back across and going north. In other words, if I'm going over to the hospital for my house, or if I'm going, like I say, to go north, I have to go all the way down and cut across and come up. Otherwise, I just turn right straight down the alley, go across, and go straight down Oak Street and to the Old Springfield Road, turn right.
So if you don't use the alley, you have to go all the way up Old Springfield Road?
No, I go, so you're the opposite direction.
Okay.
I'd have to come this way,
Oh.
all the way down to the road that the courthouse is on, because Willis is one way,
Yeah, well.
going the opposite direction.
Fifth Street, right?
So I come all the way down to the road the courthouse is on, or go all the way down to Main, or Hines, so. I'm a high, maybe always used under the name of the street.
You said your neighbor is using that alleyway to his driveway?
The guy across the street from me,
Uh-huh.
he would live, his house was here, the alley's here, and the house in question's here. So he pulls in his garage like that.
Okay.
So he uses it all the time.
When do you have to sign off on that?
Should if he's.
You-
Yeah, so you want all these.
Do you know his name?
I do not. I do not. We holler at each other all the time, we talk to each other all the time, but I do not know his name. I don't know.
Because I think he would have to sign off since he.
What's his
has-
address?
You know the address, because I mean, I would think that,
Yeah,
Joe, if
we got all
you,
the signatures right here.
wouldn't he have to sign, if he uses that alleyway for his driveway, wouldn't he have to be one of the signatures to sign off on the vacating?
Only if his property touches it.
Yeah, he signed off, he's signed that.
What's his name?
He did sign off?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I'm the man. That's mine, Adam, actually, remember his name.
Adam Schunkweiler.
Schunkweiler.
That's right, he signed it.
And there's Tim Connolly and Matt Williams.
Matthew Williams, yeah, Matthew Williams and Conley, Adam Schunkweiler. Yeah, they all signed off on it.
Maybe that's why he's closing it, maybe this shows it's
Yeah, because, once that's closed, it can be, if they sign off on this, that becomes their property too.
It's a big convenience to him. I know when he was coming to this meeting, he said he didn't get a letter on it. And I said, well, you will be, because I got mine. He said, well, I don't want to close off, I'll be there. So evidently he changed his mind.
Yeah, he signed off on it.
Signing off means he approves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, have you talked to him about?
I'll just be inconvenienced then. I don't want to close, but that's me, that's one person.
Yeah, yeah.
You said you live on North Madison?
Yeah.
Okay, description of
171.
Oh, to the right, okay.
Right. So you'll have to drive to
Adam,
Old Spring.
now, Adam Schunkweiler be on Oak Street, is that, he's on Oak Street?
Yeah, he's on the Oak Street.
But you're talking about somebody on Madison,
I'm
right?
on Madison, right dead across the street from my house. I'm
There's
on
Matthew.
171.
And there's Matthew Williams at 164, and he signed off. That's the one that
He
has.
would live on the corner of Madison and the alley,
So 160,
on the north side.
That's 164 North Madison.
he'd be at 166 North Madison, on the north side.
What's your
So then
driveway
that
comes
would
out
Tim
onto
Conley.
Willis? Is that,
I'm sorry?
your driveway comes out onto Willis?
No,
Is that
no,
why you have
the
to-
alley. If I'm coming from Oak, come straight through the alley, make a real slight jog right in my driveway.
Because otherwise, you have to go to Old Springfield, right?
Or, when you have
Or
to get over.
turn like,
Or maybe U-turn or go down, all the way down to Courthouse Street, whatever that street is there. I think it's Fourth.
Willis,
Yeah, it'd be Fifth Street.
4th Street.
Fifth,
Fifth Street, yeah,
okay.
would be the first two.
Is that the one the creamer's on?
Yeah.
Okay. That's where I'd have to go. But again, it's not a huge inconvenience, but it is an inconvenience. So I just want to come here to express my opinion.
All right. Any other questions? Well, thank you,
Okay.
Jeff, correct? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Creek.
Thanks, sir.
Next, we have Dwayne Gamble Jr. Just step to the podium, state your name, your address, and you have 5 minutes, please.
My name is Dwayne Gamble Jr. We own 157 North Oak. And when we first got there, my neighbors, the Mars, they were telling us about, because it's my driveway, and it's Adam's driveway, and then the neighbor behind Adam, that's his front door. So they were telling me about the alley closure, they back there is closed, so I went and asked all my neighbors if they were fine, especially the neighbor behind Adam, because that's his front door. So he was like, you know, that was fine, that's why I had all four of them sign off on it. And basically, it's just, in the lot, the alley behind my address is all grass. I take care of it, I cut the grass, I trim it, I do everything. So, and there's a fence behind that, so I was just thinking, no, I might as well put that in there too, since I take care of it. But the alleyway, like I said, it's mine and Adam's alley, and we have the kids, our kids, Mars, Courtney, and Kyle's kids. They kind of use it, because since their alley's closed, the kids kind of use it as like a racetrack, because it goes all the way around both houses, and, you know, they're just, you know, my wife gets a little, I don't know, she freaks out sometimes when people kind of drive by the house late at night, they kind of slow down, and she thinks like looking in the house. Because we're new to London, we just moved here in February, love it. So, you know, it's something new for us, but the main concern is just, you know, the kids are always playing, they're always running, you know how kids are. You can tell them all the time, hey, be careful, stop when you come to an alley or to a street, but sometimes you just go through. And then also, the turn radius on that alley, nobody really turns wide, they turn really close. My wife has to park up about 8 feet from the alley just to keep somebody coming around and hitting it. And they run in the grass, so I put up a little, like a 2-stone, like little wall around here, and then like twice a week when I come home, it's not over, because they run over it and they hit it, so, you know, that's just our thing, our concern.
And that's the 4 driveways, or the 4 people you had sign off, those are all 4 driveways that would be using that alleyway, correct?
It would be, it's my driveway, Adam's driveway, and one behind Adam. Now, the gentleman behind me, he has a fence there, and his driveway's right next to his fence, but it doesn't affect him, but he's like, I like to see it, you know, closed. And like I said, the neighbor, I can't remember his name, the neighbor behind Adam, he was like, he really likes it, he'd like to have it closed, because that's his front door, you know, you kind of, even more people running in and out, so.
So the 4 connecting properties would like to have it closed.
Yes, I got them all signed up. Yes.
Bruce, I'm glad to have you here in London.
What's that?
I'm glad to have you here in London.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we love it. You know what? We came from Columbus, and you know, we love it. We love it. You know, my wife's from Kentucky, so she's from. My father-in-law was a coal miner. He was a coal miner, so she's used to the country, and I was a city boy, so I moved here, and it just she talked me into it. You know, I love every minute of it. All our neighbors are super nice. I mean, it's just it's amazing. It's amazing. I wouldn't go anywhere else. Really.
I'm from the country, I'll take you bow fishing sometime, we'll shoot fish with a bow and arrow.
Oh, yeah.
Be a real country vibe.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Thank you for moving to our city. Honey, you play out there, do you? You like playing out there? You like playing out there, okay?
Yeah, her best friend is Sarah and David's daughter Vivian. They're in the same class, and they're like attached to the hip from day one, which we like because there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood. You know, it's just like it's really good. It's really good.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it is.
Well, any further questions for Mr. Gamble? All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to meet you.
You too.
All right, like a motion to, any further questions or anything? Okay, like a motion to exit our public hearing?
Make a motion to exit public hearing.
Okay, and a second.
I'll second.
Clerk, could you please take the roll call?
Robinson?
Yes.
Hayes?
Yes.
Hitt?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Russell?
Yes.
Peterson?
Yes.
Okay, we have now exited our public hearing. On to audience concerns. We have a Mrs. Leah Baird.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Just step at the podium, state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
Okay, well,
Thank
my name is Leah Baird, and I'm coordinator for the Meals on Wheels here in Madison County through Life Care Alliance. And I'm here to present Patrick with an award tonight from Life Care. This is the Madison County Meals on Wheels Community Service Spirit Award for Mayor Patrick Foster.
Thank you very much. We'll get a picture.
Okay. Okay, and then here's inside is also a letter from Chuck Aaron, our CEO, with his appreciation. This will be read at your convenience. And some little, our theme for our recognition was, thank you very much. So here's some berries for you.
Well, thank you very much, I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if you guys know much about Life Care Alliance, but like she said, they do the Meals on Wheels for this area, and it's a great thing that they do. These people who are unable to get out and, you know, if it wasn't for Meals on Wheels, they may not eat that day, right? And with what's been going on with COVID, there's been a lot more demand for what they're doing. So if anyone has time, anyone, even the citizens out there, and want to volunteer their time to help serve Meals on Wheels, I know they would greatly appreciate it. They're always looking for volunteers to help them out. And Lee's been with them for a couple years now, right? Just a couple?
Yeah,
And
since 1983.
yeah, that's right. Brian, you weren't even born yet, probably. But, yeah, but she's been a staple with Life Care Alliance, and this really does mean a lot to me. So I appreciate Leah coming out tonight and doing this, and Life Care Alliance and Meals on Wheels. So thank you very much, Leah. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll share the candy, guys.
Yeah, I really like how it started out, and then I'm like, I don't like how this is going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on to our committee reports. Mr. Smith.
I really don't have much to report. We haven't had a committee meeting, just real quick updates. So our trash truck should be here Monday. They've had a couple things that they've had to kind of, make sure they're right. And I said, well, we want them to be right, but we are getting tired of waiting. And we are still, I can't complain much. Originally, that's what they told me, that middle of September is what we could be looking at, and that's what we said. So right now, we're still technically right on schedule. They're supposed to be here Monday. The other thing is that, and I don't want this to, get distorted or get anybody too excited, but we still have a long way to go. But TJ has already been checking the samples from the water department. And the good thing is that we were at, the ammonia, I believe, was about 7 parts per million. And so now we're already down to,
I'll put it out.
or maybe it was 3.5, and now we're at 0.7, which is really, could be really good. Now, that we still have a long way to go. We have a lot more tests to run that has not been tested by the EPA. That's just TJ running his test. We still have another well to test, so we're still looking at least 8 to 10 months before we really are able to nail down what TJ's telling me, if we're able to nail down and say, yes, this is going to work. The reason I want to update everybody on it is because I want everybody to know that we're literally doing everything we can to get results as fast as possible to keep the process moving. So even though TJ's test doesn't get us really a step further, it at least just gives us more information. And so if we can run those tests, we're going to do it. So that's all I have.
Now I know too, with those tests, one of the most important things is to run them consistently. They said a lot of cities, they'll run it and they'll skip a few and they'll run another, but the consistency in it, so he's dedicated to actually going out there,
Right.
even if it's the weekend, he's
Right.
making sure the tests are getting done for us, so that's really good. Yeah. All right, Mr. Hitt.
I attended the safety committee meeting September 8th. We talked about that there's several new housing building permits in place. There's 4 new house requests for building permits. And we had visitors that came to the safety committee meeting from the Friends of Madison County Parks and Trails. It's Wayne Robertson, Greg Anderson, and Michael. And they presented the map of the bike trail and some chevrons that they would like to see painted on the streets. For directions and safety purposes, I'll pass that around if you want to look at it. And we voted and passed, and we thought that was a good idea to have those chevrons painted on the street to provide directions. And then we also talked a little bit about having some kind of welcome to London structure, I guess at entryways to London. The next safety meeting is October 13th at 6 o'clock, either here or in the meeting room.
All right, is that all we have? All right, on to Mr. Hayes.
Okay, attend this public safety meeting September the 8th. I'll give you the police and fire reports. Officer Reggie Wilson resigned from London Police Department to take a private sector job. His last working day was August 30th. There was nothing bad, everything was good, just a little better job for him, and he decided to take it. We wish him all the best. He's a good officer. Police Department will be working with the Civil Service Commission to start the new hire process for a new officer. Several new forms were updated to enable direct submission of information from our app and website, that being the police app and website. Thanks to the work by the city administrative assistant with creating online payments, several items requiring payments are now payable online as well, such as parking citations and various city permits. Police Department has obtained new respirators that were funded by the County Prosecutor's Office. Police Department also received a donation from Amazon through West Jeff Police Department of several disposable masks. Supply of Narcan was obtained from the Madison County Health Department at no cost. The Police Department is reimbursed for last year's VEST grant from the federal government program of approximately $1,100. They are looking at options to update the interview room recordings as the prosecutor's office requested. They discontinued the use of the old system due to poor audio recordings, and that can make a huge difference in a case. The front windows and the brick facade of the police department needs attention due to deterioration. They'll be looking into options to get the repairs made before winter. Stats, an increase in our app downloads continues to 2,963 current users. Calls for service are down overall from last year by 10% currently, with the COVID response accountable for drops in many categories such as traffic stops, thefts, trespassing, and warrant service. On to the fire department. Departmental EMS training resumed. Sports and traumatic brain injuries is what they were focusing on. New hire orientation has been continued. Departmental fire training, aerial ladder placement and operations. They participated in drive-by birthday celebrations. ACLS training provided by Madison Health. Provided coverage for London High School football games. Met with Life Care Alliance 60+ program. Remember, maintain physical distancing, wash your hands with soap and water, avoid touching nose, mouth, eyes, avoid exposure to others who are sick, and especially those sick with respiratory symptoms. Stay home if you're ill and avoid close contact with others. Outside that, and Mr. Hitt touched on, we talked about signs for the entrance, talking about moving the signs for the notable people of the community, the sports signs. We're talking about putting those in possibly 3 different locations We're waiting on some things from the city, then we'll move ahead on that. Next meeting, as Mr. Smith said, is 10, 13, 20, 6 p.m. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Mr. Robinson.
I have nothing.
All right. Mr. Peters?
We had a public service meeting last week. Tammy reported, pool closed on August 16th. Just tidying things up before winter there at the pool. Youth grass volleyball league starts this Sunday. She said there was a total of 78 kids signed up for that. So, that's all for her department. Bill with the street department, he let us know that they worked on the train there at the park, as well as installed a water line. And they also tore down the building there, close there on Walnut Street. They worked on the school crosswalks and the school lights before school opened up. Repaired a couple storm drains, replaced a couple storm grates. So the next public service meeting will be October 14th, 1 p.m.
All right. Anything else? That's all I got. Okay. On to Mrs. Russell.
I attended the finance meeting, and the auditor's update was they had a successful office closeout, and the revenue is a little above what we had expected, and our expenses are lower than what we expected, but we worked without a capital budget, so spending was only as needed and as necessary, which I think was a very, very wise decision. And we have a lot of stuff that we discussed that will be legislation, so I'll just discuss it then. And also, we got some information that the Lundy City Schools, a ZRA payment that we evidently stopped making in 2015, we're going to have to make that payment to the school. And why it stopped being paid in 2015, we don't know, but it'll be about $290,000. Part of it will be from the general and part will be from the fire department. So I'm sure legislation will be coming up about that. Also, Joe talked to us about the city health insurance options. They've been meeting with the appropriate people to see how they're going to work with city health insurance options, and they'll have to make a decision so that it can be cut out of the December checks so that the effect won't be changed. And I think that's about all.
Okay, thank you. On to our city official reports.
Our next finance meeting, 10/5, 2026 p.m. right here.
All right.
Good evening, and thanks to everyone for coming out tonight. I do want to once again thank Lee Baird and Life Care Alliance for the Spirit Award that was given to me. Like I said, it does mean a lot. And if people are able to help out with Meals on Wheels, especially with the increased volume they have from COVID, I do ask that if anybody has a little extra time around lunchtime and they can pick up a route to do Meals on Wheels, just check out Life Care Alliance. They have a Facebook page, a website. Great people that work there. Like Leah said, she's been there for quite a while. She's a staple there. The gentleman who runs it, Chuck, is just an amazing man. So I just want to also thank them for all they do for our community. Because like I said, those people would probably be pretty hungry if it wasn't for Meals on Wheels. So I do want to start off by saying good day. It's for you, Brian. Tonight's game, and go Bucks for the return of the Big Ten. Sean Wade is coming back. As you guys are sitting in here, he just released that on Twitter. So there's been a lot of things going on in the water department. They have began to flush the dead-end fire hydrants, which they should have completed by the end of the week. And starting on Monday, the fire department will be flushing the rest of the fire hydrants. So as they do this, we put it out on Facebook. It will sometimes stir up a little bit of sediment, so if you turn your water on and you think something's wrong with it, just let it run for a second, it'll work its way out. But the things will get pushed around. So please be advised on that. As Anthony talked about a little bit, we are waiting on our next round of water tests. Among the results from the EPA, taken from the East Water Plant, the tests that we are doing in-house are very promising, and when we get those concrete numbers, I'll definitely let you guys know. At the last Board of Public Utilities meeting, there was a lot of discussion about changing over to cellular water meters to take the readings. I have estimated the change over all 3,810 meters to cellular would cost about $1.3 million. There has been some issues with reading meters, and this would help with accuracy. The meters would send readings to the office every 4 hours and could be viewed by the citizen also. This will help detect leaks faster, show what we are producing versus what we are billing for, and give citizens a much more accurate bill. This will also save us a lot of man hours, as it takes 4 employees 2 weeks to read the meters. That is 320 man hours per month that could be spent repairing our aging infrastructure that has been neglected for so many years. We will also look into attrition and be able to hopefully cut the personnel budget in the future. The request for proposal is currently being finalized for that. We will be going after a Ohio Public Works Commission grant to receive up to $400,000 in free money, and we'll look to pay for the rest of it out of the water and sewer budget lines. I think this is a great step as we continue to get into the 21st century. Our systems have been so archaic for so many years. Doing things like this and the online bill pay makes us more effective and more efficient. I know that things have been crazy since COVID began and people are looking for some normalcy. There have been some social distance events going on and some that are coming up. This past Friday was the downtown shop hop, which was very well attended. The businesses stayed open until 8 and they brought in about 6 food trucks. It went so well that they've already started to plan the next shop hop, which will take place on Friday, October 9th from 5 to 8. I don't know if you guys were able to go down there, but it was a very nice event. People were wearing their masks, they were social distancing. So everybody was kind of following the new way we do things. And a lot of business came to downtown. The one thing I heard was, I didn't know that was there, or I didn't know that shop was there. So it's very good for the downtown. I do want to thank Maria for Mimi's Vintage Pickens. She's the one who kind of spearheaded this and reached out to me, and I led her in the right direction to make sure that she was doing everything right so we didn't get in trouble with things like the health department and make sure that we weren't blocking roads or doing things like that. So I just want to thank Maria. This Saturday at 10 a.m. will be the Madison County Special Olympics Poker Run. All proceeds will go to the Tigers and Madison County Special Olympics. If you want more information, please check out their event page on Facebook. Excuse me. Rock on the Run will be having their virtual 5K or 1 miler from October 2nd to the 11th. It's a great local nonprofit that raises money for pediatric brain cancer research. You can also get more information on their Facebook page, where they have an event page set up right now too. Junior Achievement will be having a family-friendly, app-based and socially distanced scavenger hunt around Madison County on October 4th from 2 to 4 p.m. Complete missions, answer trivia questions, and take selfies while competing against rival teams for prizes. All proceeds will help fund financial literacy, entrepreneurships, and workforce readiness programs for local students. The cost of a team of up to 5 is only $25. You can get more information on their website, madriver.ja.org, or on their Facebook page, Junior Achievement of the Mad River Region. There are also some rumblings about a concert that may be held out at the courthouse. They have gained approval from the health department to have their concert. So once they release the details, I'll let everyone know about that. So as you guys know, with COVID, everything's kind of been messed up. That's why Leah Bear came tonight. They usually have a function for Life Care Alliance and their annual awards, as many nonprofits do. As many of these nonprofits are going to struggle through this year, as many people are just trying to stay afloat. You know, Rocket on the Run does such great things for pediatric cancer research, and you know, they raise a lot of money from their auctions and things the day of the event, which, you know, it's going to be tough to do. Junior Achievement usually has a couple fundraisers so they can make sure that they're getting all the money, so local business owners can go in and teach the kids about small business ownership and entrepreneurship and things like that. So anything you guys can do to help out, anything the public can do, join some of these events, donate a little bit of money. I know they would greatly appreciate it, especially during these crazy times. Now on to the biggest question that I've been receiving. Trick or treat! Trick or treat, what's going on with trick or treat? So you guys have probably maybe been getting it too. The City of London is planning to have trick or treat on Thursday, October 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. I am currently waiting on guidance from the State and County Health Department. I reached out to Madison County Public Health and we talked, and they said it sounds like the governor is going to release something very soon. We don't know if that's going to be a statewide mandate or if they're just going to leave it up to the locals to do. But I said, hey, we really want to do this. We want to have this for our kids and bring back some more normalcy, as we've been trying to do all summer. So once I get any information from the governor or from Madison County Public Health, we just want to make sure that it is a very safe and good time for the kids. So make sure that we do things right. But I will update everyone on our progress via social media or at the next council meeting and also on our website. But we are planning to have it on October 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. With living in the COVID area, we've also been working on more things to do for the kids. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we used to have a very nice BMX track that was down at Mary Mack Park for a lot of years. For some reason in the past, the administration just kind of locked it up and nothing was done. They didn't mow it, they didn't maintain it, they just locked the doors and forgot about it. So if you drove back there, it just looked like a little building with a bunch of hills and 10-foot weeds on it. So we are currently clearing the area of the vegetation, and we're starting repairs so we can open it back up. I do want to thank the street department and the Parks and Recreation Department for all their hard work on this project. We will continue to work on it and hope to have it back open very soon so the kids be able to enjoy an outdoor activity that is not shut down by COVID. So, now on to my mayor fun fact, which I thought Josh was going to steal it from me, but he almost did. So the number's 83. That's how many kids we have participating in our youth outdoor grass volleyball league. When COVID hit, we didn't know what the pool and the programs and the Park and Recreation Department would look like, but we were able to open the pool, and Director Braskett was able to think outside the box and come up with this great league. I've heard nothing but compliments on the league since practices have started. I know none of City Council was ever able to make it up to the pool and check that out and how we were running that during COVID, but I do encourage you guys to go check out the volleyball league. They're having practice tonight, but the games are on Sundays. So Sunday afternoon, just swing down there, check it out, see everything that's going on, because it's a great thing that we're able to do and give these 83 kids and something to do and give their parents a little bit of breathing space while they're out running around and wearing them down a little bit. So thank you all for your time. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Want to come by, they had a full house out there, you see.
Yeah, they're out there practicing full force right now. So I believe maybe pictures were today also, so that could be part of it. But yeah, games will be played on Sunday. They're going to knock it out in about 4 or 5 weeks and then be done, and then figure out what and if we can do with the basketball league. So we're looking at some different options of how we can do that, how we can make sure that we adhere to the guidelines that are in front of us and be able to hopefully have youth basketball also. So we'll give you more updates updates on that. Josh will know a lot about that, and everybody that's on the public service too, so.
Anything else? Don't give me -6?
All right, 1, 2, old business, ready for its fourth reading. Ordinance number 15920, got a motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Clerk, okay, clerk, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 15920, sponsored by Rich Hayes, an ordinance vacating an alley.
Okay, this is what I talked about earlier, vacating the alley beside and behind 157 North Oak Street. All owners have signed off as to their approval. DOPU superintendent and city have signed off. Public hearing tonight. Needed, I make a motion to go ahead and approve it.
We get a second. Second. Okay. A second by Mr. Hitt. All right, clerk, please take the roll call.
Hayes.
Yes.
Hitt.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Russell. Yes. Peters.
No.
Robinson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ready for the third reading? Ordinance 16320, motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Second.
And a second by Mr. Hitt. All right.
Ordinance 16320, sponsored by Rich Hayes, an ordinance vacating an alley.
This is a request to vacate an alley that's situated between 56 and 60 Logan Avenue. All owners whose property abut the alley have signed off for their approval. There are no sewers. City engineer has reserved easement rights as the Ohio Edison must maintain existing facilities within the alley. Public hearing is scheduled for October 1st.
Okay. Any questions on this? Third reading? Let's go first. Okay, 1, 2, new business. Ordinance 17820, a motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All right, clerk, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 17820, sponsored by Andrew Hitt, an ordinance vacating an alley.
Okay, this ordinance refers to vacating an alley heading south off of Vernon Avenue next to 34 Vernon Avenue, and running down to the fence at Metropolitan Housing and east over Walnut Street. I drove by that and there's a lot of fencing already up and sheds built on that area. Other petitions have been signed and the utilities have been notified.
Okay. All right, do we have any further questions on 17820?
When will the,
And that will be for a public hearing on November the 5th. All right, no further questions? All right, we'll to ordinance 17920, motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Second.
And second. All right, clerk, could you please read the ordinance?
Ordinance 17920, sponsored by Andrew Hitt, an ordinance vacating an alley.
This ordinance also deals with vacating an alley. It's located off of West High Street between 201 West High Street and 209 West High Street. It's just before you get to Lamplight entrance, Lamplight Apartments entrance. And I drove by that one also, and really can't tell there's an alley there. It's all grass. Looks like whoever's living there is.
it's a driveway?
On the driveway.
Yes. It's directly to the house.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So that one also, the petitions have been signed and utilities have been notified.
Okay, and that is also scheduled for public hearing November 5th. Okay. On to resolution 18020, a motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. All right.
Resolution 18020, sponsored by Anthony Smith, a resolution authorizing the Board of Public Utilities to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement Program and execute contracts as required.
The main thing that wastewater, what they're wanting to do is bring to where, for our wastewater, we have what's called a belt press. And so, From what I understand, that's what's processing more of like our solids that they handle. So we're getting to where that's going to be replaced. We were already, when Dan was in charge, looking at going into a centrifuge. Jerry has some experience in those, so he's working on that. He'll get us the information. He may want to go a different route. The main thing with this is only giving them permission to go to start the process to get either grant 0%. We're going to need grant money to help us out, and it's going to be expensive. So there will be money that they're going to have to put up too, but we just need to get them permission so they can start working on getting a grant to get a zero interest loan. And this is an emergency. Does anybody have any questions? They'll still have to come to us for the amount, things like that. This doesn't give them approval to just go out and get $400,000 loan, something like that. So, if no one has any questions, I'll make a motion that we suspend the 3 reading rule for 18020.
Okay. Did we get a second?
I'll second.
Clerk, please take the roll call.
Pitts,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And a motion to adopt.
Make a motion we adopt 18020.
I'll second.
Second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Yes.
On to resolution 18120, motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 18120, sponsored by Anthony Smith, a resolution authorizing the Board of Public Utilities to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement Program and execute contracts as required.
This is the same thing. This is just giving them permission to go for the grant. The big thing with these water meters, which I'll tell you, one thing that's going to be nice is right now, if your water meter is not read, it is estimated. And that is one thing that causes a lot of confusion in the community because, you know, let's say they're watering their yard. Well, then they get their bill, and it's, you know, set amount. Well, then the next month, they don't water their yard. They don't do anything with it. The estimate's off. They have to make that difference up. So then they're looking at a month where they didn't use a lot of water, and it's more expensive than the month where they did water. So we do have some things like that. So the one thing that will be nice, I don't know exactly how to work, but Carol was explaining to me that, like, let's say that you have, you know, a line breaks at your house, and all of a sudden your water's constantly running. We would actually be able to call you up and say, hey, something is running at your house. You had a normal water usage, so which could be very beneficial. So, from my understanding, again, this is just giving them permission to apply for the grant. So, anybody have any questions? I know this is emergency. If no one has any questions, I'll make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule for 18220.
I'll second.
Second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Russell.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Pitts.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
And a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt.
And a second.
Second.
All right, second by Ms. Robinson.
Peters.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Pitts.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Ordinance 18220, motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
A second. Second. Clerk, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 18220, sponsored by Brenda Russell, an ordinance setting a monthly stormwater utility fee.
Okay, this legislation has to deal with Fund 690, which is our stormwater utility. That is the fund for the money to pay for our infrastructure sewer system. That's the money, that's where the money comes out of. And currently, the only way that account, that fund is funded is by the leftover capital money. We've been using that for the last, 2 years? About 2 years, we've used whatever left out of capital to fund that. But we're gonna have to start feeding into this account so that we can get it built up because The flooding is not going to stop, and we've got a good start on it, but we've got a long, long way to go. So what this is a staggering year-by-year increase of $1.50 that will be added to the first year. Right now, we give $3 into the storm sewer utility fund, and that was put on there like maybe 2 years ago. We would like to take that up to just $5 in 2020. And then we have a plan for 22, all the way up to 25, to increase the $1.50, so that we can get some leverage, get some buildup, so that we'll have some money to work on these storm systems. And we found out that as soon as London reaches the 10,000 mark in population, that the EPA is going to ask for a stormwater retention plan for the city. We're going to have to tell them how we're going to fund that sewer fund to take care of the infrastructure. We're going to have a plan. Well, we have two. This could be the second step. The first step, we could continue to use the overflow that we have, but we won't have any this year because we didn't have any capital. We're not guaranteed that we'll have any next year because we're not sure of the revenue, the expenses because of the virus. So if we continue to use the overflow plus a slight increase every year, we may be able to just get a good start on this fund. And the 2020 census will be over in December. And maybe around March, we'll have an exact number as what the population is into London. If it's 10,000, we're going to have accountability for that fund. So that's just a step toward getting it started. We're going to have a long way to go with it because we've got a lot of infrastructure to work with the way the water all drains comes down to this point right there. So we're going to have to start something now and just get it started and fund this fund as best we can. And what's easiest for the city and the residents. So this is the plan that the administration built, bring it through finance. Now, of course, there's an emergency measure clause in there because we would like to get, if possible, we would like to get the fund started so that when we do reach that 10,000 population, we will have something in place. That's what I would like to see. I don't want to go to the EPA empty-handed and tell them what we're going to do. We need to go there with something in place. So there is an emergency clause on this.
When's the EPA supposed to,
The census will be up in the end of December.
do they require the upgrades next year?
Well, they're going to ask us how we're going to do it. And we're going to have to give them a plan. We're going to have to give them a written plan as to how we're going to fund that stormwater utility. And right now, there is no plan. We just use what's left out of the capital.
Now, once that census information is back, how long do you know how long they give you to put the plan
Not really.
together?
Not really.
So once those numbers come back, those numbers should be able to give us a truer idea of how to structure a plan for them for 5 years.
Once the
Once the census information comes back.
Well, I think from EPA's point of view, once we reach 10,000, we're going to have to tell them how we're going to fund that.
Yeah, and I
Where
think,
the money's going to come from.
and I think that's just only one stage of it. I mean, we still have to raise funding for the infrastructures that we have neglected for several years. So this hasn't been raised for, used to 2 years, and before that it was
No.
nothing. So I mean, it's money that needs to be built, because as we build more and more, we're going to create more and more flooding. And there's only one place for the water to go. And as we keep building more and more, the water is going to drain to one specific area. And like she was saying, we're going to have to put retention ponds in sooner or later because of all the construction that we're doing and all the new building that is going on.
Because right now, we've needed retention ponds, but they've been on private property. And the private property people just won't agree to do that. So, yeah. But it's true, we probably will need retention ponds. More sooner than later.
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but are there grants available to help with We know the city.
We can always apply for grants.
Probably.
Yeah.
Bill got none of it. Was that for storm sewer he got that? Yes, he's gotten grants for storm sewer. $290,000.
But, yeah, I think this is a good five-year plan for the city. Like I said the other night, the only thing I don't like is when they jump right on this and not give the city residents any time to think about this or address the council.
I agree with that. Now, the one thing, so, that I looked at, and I wish I would have thought of this, I didn't think of it until I was literally here in the meeting. So first off, I called Bill, and, because really, I'm like, when I look, I'm like, I don't really know that I could really point out everything that's been done with that $2, or $3, excuse me, the $3 raise and stuff. So I just want to kind of just explain to you guys, what has already been done, and then we're looking at next year. So they've already been laying a lot of pipe and raising the size of the pipe to help the flows, and then putting in some catch basins. So they've already laid from the fire department to looking into this building, trying to raise that up. There was, Bill said Velvet, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, to the railroad, to Liberty Street. They did 36 to 60 inch in some of those places. North Main, they ran 2 pieces of pipe, going over to 38. They've already laid 600 feet of pipe. So if anybody feels like, they haven't been doing, they have. They've already repaired on Hawthorne, catch basin on High Street, but they're still going to have to do from City Hall, they're going to have to put a box to First Street to School Street, 2 36-inch pipes. They're already looking at, $400,000, $50,000 on projects just alone for next year. Another thing I think, in my mind is I don't want the EPA to tell us their plans, because I'm always afraid their plan is going to be more expensive than our plan. But the one thing that I would like to know is, so that we could add time for people, would it be, if we did not pass it today, but we did an emergency measure at the next meeting, would that affect a billing statement? Does anyone know that? I don't know. My rough estimate is, so like my way of thinking is that like every billing statement we don't pass it, you've got, let's say roughly 3,100 homes, but that does not include the businesses. And I'm not sure how many businesses are here in town. So, we take.
Do you know when it's not, yeah.
But, when do they read?
Right. See, I would think that if we at least were able to give the citizens, to the next meeting, and if it was passed, that wouldn't cost us a billing statement, because each billing statement, is pretty significant. Just the homes alone, so, which is not quite 3,100 homes, that's roughly $9,000, and that does not include the businesses. So when you look at, Bill had mentioned to me the one project, South Street to Madison is going to cost around $50,000. The longer we wait, it makes it more difficult for those projects to get done. And we already know that we have flooding issues. The thing I really hate, though, is that this being passed emergency and not giving people a chance to talk about it. But it's hard when you see that one billing statement is, I think it'd be safe to say minimum $10,000. That's a lot, It's probably more, I don't know exactly what it would be, but I don't know how many businesses there are.
What's the business, do you know what the business cost is right now? What it's raising to?
Yeah, it's
A lot of the businesses, what they make.
yeah, it should be a
raised from.
They didn't know.
$7. Bill, do you know?
I think the commercial business said we go to 11.
Which was on 211, but I'm not sure that.
My guess is nine since.
Nine.
Yeah, mine was
Or 8.
9.
Yeah, I guess there doesn't, what it
That
is.
just says what it's going to.
Well, here's what.
$7?
Here's,
$7.
It's going up $4.
Do we know how many businesses are built, roughly, any idea? I know Carol,
Does
she
Bill
would
know,
probably know that.
does he know what, ask Bill,
How many businesses are built?
He's not.
How much is-
Why you would know that?
We usually lose a building statement.
If we wait till the first, we lose a billing statement.
So if we pass tonight, it goes out on next bill, but it's not in the bill.
It won't go out until the next one.
well, here's my thoughts on it. My thoughts are, because we've been dealing with the infrastructure of the water for a while here. And, we go up to over 10,000 people with the census. One of my thoughts also is $1.50 enough? It's definitely going to be more than that. And would it be worth it to wait until we get numbers from the census to see exactly where we need to be? So that way we go with that ask to the community, say, here's our 5-year plan, we've gotten our numbers, and this is what it's going to look like that we need to do instead of, $5 here, $2 there, $1 here, but to give them a plan that is more concrete, to give them an idea where we need to be based on our actual numbers.
But I think
Bill gave us this, Bill,
Just real fast, it's not the infrastructure for water.
it's.
I just want to make that clear, that's what Henry said, it's for.
Well, sewer.
Storm sewer, it's not infrastructure for water.
Storm sewer, not water. Water's different.
Storm sewer.
Well,
You've got something else going on.
Increase to avoid a major increase.
Yes, that's what we need. Small increments instead of like what happened with the water department, we kept it with.
When does the trash
They come off.
money come off?
I think it came off this month already.
Yeah.
Oh, it already came off?
Right, so the trash would come off and then this would go right on after the trash.
So you wouldn't see much of a difference.
But then if we get the numbers from the census, then we would go up again.
We're just asking for a plan. I think the census, we just have to have a plan, how we're going to do it. And Bill sat down with administration and gave us these increases. So
The census is not going to tell us, this is what you have to do.
we just have to have a plan.
We get to pick what we're going to
We
do,
have to be.
right? But we have to have a plan in place. They're not going to come in and say, nope, $1.50 is not enough or whatever.
Right.
They're not going to, they're just going to say, you
Because
have
we
to
can
have
charge
a
$1
plan.
as long as it's our plan.
Yes,
Right.
we just have
But
to.
it wouldn't, right.
And you have to remember that when we first put the money from the capital in there, it went right down because we were dealing with Garfield Avenue, we were dealing with right behind Graceland,
Jaffa.
Stewart, and what's the other one? And out there on Main Street. I mean, that money, that was like an emergency.
I'll be honest, that, I didn't know that, and that kind of aggravates me in a way because that $2, I'm not saying it's your fault by any means, so please don't take it that way. I don't think I like how that's set up because if I'm understanding that correctly, then that possibly means that $2, the $3 that's already been paid has not went all toward the infrastructure
It goes into
of the
storm
drains.
Yeah, it goes in stormwater, it goes in, yeah.
So that has been going to that.
Yes, that's been.
So, okay, so what you're
It's
saying
designated
is,
that it has to go there, that's what it
Okay.
has to go.
it is,
Fund 600,
okay.
yes. Fund
Yeah,
600.
so I was gonna be pretty upset, okay. I
But
understand.
it's
So
called
it is
storm water utility, isn't that what it's called? Is that the right one I got?
That's right.
Storm water utility, just.
Okay, because that's what I thought, I
To me, it should
just,
say.
I apologize, I
Sewer,
misunderstood.
but, no, that, it's designated, it's pinpointed to go
Right, it's just whatever else is left over,
out of cap.
we try to put toward that also.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've been using, because that's all we have.
Okay, yeah, that's my bad, I misunderstood.
All right, so do we have a plan of when we're going to revisit this to basically raise it again after this? After the $1.50 or?
I love that's a 5-year.
This is a 5-year plan.
So we're just going to, we're going to leave, this is where we're going to leave it at. That way we shouldn't have to revisit it again, right? Is that what we're saying?
We can amend it later on if we want to, right?
Yeah.
Anytime,
Yeah.
if we need to, if it's cost effective.
If it was necessary.
Any further questions on
The trash things, I got my bill this month, and unless I misread it, the trash cans were still charged to me. I understood they were supposed to come off next month. So that's $7.20, is that correct? So we're gonna turn around, and then we're just gonna charge them, put an extra $1.50 back on.
Your first one's $2.
$2, okay.
For me, I don't think we have a choice, but I hate people not
having a choice to come and
That's awesome, but, I mean, you gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's no way around it.
I just don't like the fact that
Yeah,
we don't get,
because there's not really too much harm in at least letting, since we're elected by the people, we might want to hear from the people since we're going to raise their bills. I agree with
Or
both
at
of
least
you
get
that it may be good to,
explain
Andy's like it's pretty good.
that it's all
You can leave it
taxable.
on,
No, I'm just kidding.
leave it on, and then, when there's an emergency.
Yeah, but I mean, what Amy's saying is that, if we do that, I mean, I feel like I could very safely say that's minimum $10,000. So then so the more you delay it, which I know it has to be more than 10, but I don't want to just be misleading. So if you do wait and, we miss out on that finances, then that could lead to where we would have to revisit it and raise it again. I feel like we're in a, catch-22 is that if you don't pass it tonight and we have that money that we don't receive for the next billing, then it could cause us next year to have to increase it, but then I hate,
Yeah, because this is brand new.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I know exactly
I'm thinking
what you're
out
saying.
loud a little bit.
I know what you're
too.
saying.
Does that make sense that?
Josh?
but I just, if we miss the first month, at least we give the city money.
Right, at least a chance to
Right.
tell us how much they hate it,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
At least, that's for, they voted us for that. We want to at least hear from them.
Okay, so we want to leave this on?
Well, I think we would have to vote on that one.
No,
We don't have to vote on
so
that.
maybe we have to try to suspend it. The reading rule. All this emergency is, it doesn't go through like the 30 days.
Right, so you have to go through the free reading to suspend it, but
We're all,
And then it would stay.
Everybody would like to leave it on.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know,
I
I don't, but I do.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
no-
like, I don't, it's like, basically,
yeah.
just to give people that opportunity, but I mean, I told that's a good thing to do, but
I agree.
if we didn't leave it, let's say we went the whole 3 readings, we would lose out on a whole nother billing then, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's 2, but,
I know we give people a chance to.
right, we give people a chance to talk to people and help them understand.
Conversation with representation.
Problem is, we should have a plan in place long. Yeah, I mean, make sure.
When this fund is established.
Yeah, the good thing about it is now, at least we're starting now to go into the future with the plan,
Cost always increases.
All right, so I guess we would need a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Yeah, we'll just go through the process okay, and then.
Well, I'm not saying I would.
Or do we just leave it without the suspension? Okay, just, we can leave it without the suspension.
Just leave it on the.
Yep, we'll just leave it on.
Everybody happy with that? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or we could take a vote and see if we want to suspend it or not, I guess.
Can we do that?
Yep.
Could we just vote to
Do we
see
wanna
how
just do
everyone
that?
feels, to see if we want to leave it on or not?
Is that the procedure?
Somebody would have.
Okay, I made a motion to suspend 3 readings. And nobody seconded.
And then,
Right?
Right, so then we
Nobody
get,
okay, is there a second? Okay, no second to suspend the 3 reading.
That's how that works.
And then that will, 18220 will stay on for further discussion. All right, on to resolution 18320, motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
And a second. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Ordinance 18320, sponsored by Brenda Russell, a resolution authorizing the safety service director to apply for and accept a level 2 electric charging station grant.
Okay, this is legislation just to give the safety service director permission to apply for a grant from the Ohio EPA for charging units for electric cars. They said the grant could get up to $30,000, and one would be at County Park and one would be at the city parking lot. Now, the deadline for this grant is September 30th. And this is 100% reimbursable. Premium,
It's 100% up to 30,000, right?
Each unit's gonna cost $15,000.
How much did it?
No,
No,
that's what they're gonna use that.
Then you said the 30,000.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what,
and she wants to put
they're
it
the
in,
only units in.
right?
Yes, they up to 15,000 per dual port station, and we're applying for 2 dual port stations, so 4
For hookup.
For
ports
total.
altogether. So, and we've gotten quotes and everything, it's gonna be under 30,000 that we need, so we're not probably gonna ask for the whole amount, but we can ask up to 30.
Are there any ideas where they would be located?
At County Park and the city parking lot over there on the,
By Loving Care Hospice.
that's it.
Got a question. It says up to 30,000, 100% reimbursement. How much is the charge for these two things altogether?
Right now, like 13, like 27,000. We're not gonna go over the 30. We're not gonna ask for all of that as it stands right now.
So we're not going to be,
No, there's no money out of pocket for this.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good with that. Okay.
This does have an emergency clause because of the deadline.
All right, can we get or be given a motion to suspend?
Yes.
Okay, and a second? Second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes, Peter.
Yes.
All right, and a motion to adopt,
Very much for that.
and second by Mr. Hick. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Resolution 18420, a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
And a second. Second. All right, clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 18420, sponsored by Brenda Russell, a resolution increasing appropriations.
Okay, this is legislation. We received some additional CARES Act money. 49,047.93. It's extra from the first, this we got it twice. Okay, this is extra care money, so we got appropriated, because it all goes into the general. There is a city hall code department that they created to put the money for these, this CARES Act. And so we have to put that money into that line so that they can use it. It's extra care.
That's what that line is covered.
Yeah, City Hall, that's good. They created one. We've, the city's got their fire department, got their own separate. So we got extra money.
All right.
And there's an emergency clause in there too. Because we have to spend it.
You said spend it by December.
I think so.
That's good.
I think that's a total of like 100, how much? You got this?
It's a little less than 150,000 altogether.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I have a motion to suspend the three reading rules.
All right, first and second, clerk, please take the roll call.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
And a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt.
Second.
And a second.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt.
Yes.
Resolution 18520, motion to read by title and number.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right, clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 18520, sponsored by Brenda Russell, a resolution increasing appropriations.
Okay, this is increasing appropriation. This is legislation to do an upgrade to the auditor's office's current software. Joe and the girls, they did a virtual meeting with the company that's going to do the upgrade. And it's something that's long overdue. We already got the server, so they had that put in, and it's going to cost $100,000. It'll come out of the general. And the good thing about it is all of this running from building to building, tracking down somebody will be limited. The department heads can enter purchase orders from their desk, and they can follow them all the way through the process. And they can track, spit out, you know. Kenneth, she gave so much information because there's so much more that with these upgrades, what they'll be able to do, which will save a lot of man hours and a lot of running around. And the good part of it is they're going to put in kind of like a satellite one, and they get to use it and practice on it as they were before they actually go into production. Now, she wants to get this done. They like having it up and running by January. And so they do have an emergency clause.
Got a question.
Yes.
What else are we doing? Are we redoing the entire system or?
It's the current system. It's upgrade to the system they have now.
Okay.
Yeah, same company.
And then this money is just for improving that there? That's.
It's probably 100% more.
Right.
It's probably so out of date. It's probably like the one at the water department.
Okay.
That's probably how.
God, I haven't done it.
All right, well, we need to do it now. Well, we should do it.
Sure, it'd be good to start the new year off.
Sure would be.
You guys kind of work with Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Okay, there's emergency.
and Mr. Hayes, you had a motion to suspend?
I'll make a motion to suspend.
I'll second.
All right, second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion to adopt?
Make the motion to adopt.
Second.
And a second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Motion carries. On to Resolution 18620, motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 18620, sponsored by President Russell, a resolution increasing appropriations.
Okay, I don't have my laptop covered. That space key doesn't work, or the T key. T and H key don't work. So if you ever try to type without using the H key, you cannot do it. Okay, this is increasing appropriations of $350. This is the Medicare line, it's the mayor's office. That's $700 there in the middle. That shows you what fund, what department it's from. So if you're ever looking on your fund report, that little middle one that tells you where it's coming from, that means it's the mayor. And it's the Medicare line. Last year's Medicare got paid this year. And so they made the fund come up negative, so they have to redraw it down out of the general fund. That's what that is.
All right.
And it's an emergency clause because they've already paid it.
Okay. Any questions? All right, do we have a motion to suspend?
I make a motion to suspend.
I'll second.
Second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
All right, and a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt.
Second.
Second. All right, clerk, please take the roll call.
Hayes,
Yes.
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, on to Resolution 18720, motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 18720, sponsored by President Russell, a resolution increasing appropriations.
This is the same case scenario, only it's for the workers' comp line. It's in the mayor's office. Last year's bill got paid this year, so we have to appropriate the money out of the general and put it into the mayor's worker comp fund for $100. And that has an emergency clause on it also.
Any questions on that one? Did a motion to suspend
I'll make a motion to suspend 3 readings.
and a second.
Second.
Okay, clerk, please take the roll call.
Hit,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
All right, and a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt.
And a second. Second by Mr. Hitt. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hit.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Resolution 18820, motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
All right, and a second.
Second.
All right.
Resolution 18820, sponsored by Brenda Russell, a resolution increasing appropriations.
This is the same case scenario in the mayor's office, only this is for PERS. It's $3,600 that should have been paid out last year, but it was paid this year, so we have to reappropriate the money out of the general and put it in the PERS line in the mayor's office.
Okay.
And it also has to be
All right. Any questions? Any further questions? $3,600? Okay. Any questions?
What's the,
It's PERS,
I mean, what's the ordinance number?
18820. Yeah, I don't see the down.
18820, right?
You might not have it revised.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a revised.
I
I got to dig it down there. All right, so we have a motion to suspend
I'll second.
and a second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hit,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
All right, and a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt.
Second.
And second. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hit,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
All right. Motion carries. Resolution 18920, a motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
All right, and a second.
Second.
Clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 18920, sponsored by Brenda Russell, a resolution decreasing appropriations.
That's a change.
Decreasing.
That's a change.
Decrease.
Okay, Gosh, you may have to help me with this. Okay, what it is, this improvement water line reads that it is $1,807,000.
Yeah, it reads $1,536,974.50.
Yeah, that is what is over in the fund. The actual reading of that fund should be $285,764.16. That $1,536,000 is, Joe, help me with this, please, because I still don't understand.
What do you need, Brenda?
It's the one with the $1 million.
$1.5
It's
was
just-
appropriated, but it's
Yeah.
just not ever
Yeah.
in existence.
There's not that many dollars in the fund.
Right.
So we're making the line equal to the fund. It's just a correction. That's really all it is.
Right.
Just a correction. Maybe
So at one point, 1.56 was appropriated to it, but it never really existed to appropriate for it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 1.8, but the fund's only 289, so we're just
Right.
subtracting the difference, so that the line equals the fund.
Okay.
Just a correction.
That money was never taken out of another line and put into this one
Correct.
from anywhere?
Correct.
It never existed.
Yeah. It's just a correction. That's really all.
I guess they told me they would have done house cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They asked me to.
All right, so,
There's a, yeah, we definitely lose.
yes, a correction in, so we have the emergency clause, if you have
I
a
think
motion.
motion we suspend.
Okay. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hit,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yeah.
Peters.
Yes.
All right, and a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll call.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hit,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yeah.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, on to the round table. Mrs. Russell.
The next, my next meeting will be the 5th, October 5th at 6 p.m. right here. That's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Peters.
All right.
Mr. Robinson.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out.
All right, Mr. Hayes.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Great meeting tonight, got a lot done. And we had no No arguments tonight, everything is good. Praise the Lord for that.
We all met in the committee, we knew what we were talking about.
I'd like to thank all the departments in the city for jobs well done. Keep up the good work. Next safety meeting will be October 13th, 20, at 6 o'clock, either here or in the conference room. And I think that's all I got.
All right, Mr. Hitt.
I'd just like to say it was good to hear a lot of positive feedback about what's going on in the city and plans for the future. That was nice to hear. A lot of positive input. So that's good. A lot of times you hear a lot of negative input, so it's nice to have some positive feedback.
All right, Mr. Smith.
First thing I want to correct, when I said the first 10,000, about that amount, I was talking about that, I did it at $3. So actually, it should be under $10,000, even with the business. So I apologize for that, I did it correctly. But then the second thing I'd like to say, I'd like to thank PAC administration for what they've done for the kids this year. I mean, it seems like every time we turn around, they're going above and beyond to figure out a way for kids to have some normalcy and have their sports and activities, and I just, I think it's phenomenal. The outdoor volleyball, I think that's pretty creative, and so the Parks and Rec department, everyone that's doing that, I just want to say, thank you for that, so. That's it.
All right, I also like to thank everyone for coming out this evening, and I'd like to give a thanks also to the auditors department. All of these resolutions that Brenda had here shows that they are working very hard, and I think they, by looking at what's happened here, they are more than deserving of the new upgrade in software, because that's going to help it to run a lot more smoothly and help to keep those numbers in line. So if there's nothing else, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.